the pleasure, the reservoir of all the pleasure, Lord Shri Krishna, who gives pleasure to everyone, he is present in Vrindavan Dham. That's why they are always busy in the festivals. Nitya Utsavaha Tatripudhi Drishabhi Pibantayo Naryo Nari Nirashya Muditaha Kupitaha Nimeshya Yasya Aranam Makar Kundal Charu Karanam. It's mentioned Srimad Bhagavatam that Nitya Utsava for Vrindavan, or who resides in Vrindavan, for them, Nitya Utsavam. Just seeing Krishna is like a festival. Hare Krishna. So let's begin with the prayers, Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Gyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayanga Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Savadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desatarine. Hare Krishna. So once again, I'd like to welcome all the devotees. It is such a wonderful blessing and fortune that by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have been given this wonderful opportunity to hear and glorify the wonderful, wonderful pastime of the Lordship this month of Damodar. So very much indebted to Srila Prabhupada and all the followers of Srila Prabhupada. Because of their desire, their hard work, and their causeless mercy, we all are sitting here. Not only here, all over the world actually. Each and every corner of the globe, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and followers, we can see that how, not everyone, but at least few people definitely, who are very, very fortunate. They're gathering together, assembling together, and glorifying the Lordship, and try to hear and chant the wonderful, wonderful activity of the Lordship from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and all the bona fide literatures. So Srila Prabhupada in the Krishna book, he writes that once we associate with the devotees, and regularly, on a regular basis, then gradually we develop the attraction for Lord Shri Krishna. And he gives example of drunkards. That how the drunkard, they develop the attachment for drinking. It's not that all of a sudden one day a person just got up and said, okay, I'm drinking, something, wine or something. No. Prabhupada says even to drink in this material world, to become a drunkard, it requires certain culture. What culture? You have to associate with like-minded people who drinks, right? And then you develop affinity, friendship with them. And then in due course of time, you also develop that tendency to drink. Similarly, in this Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says, in 3rd canto, 25th chapter, 25th, very famous verse, Prabhupada writes the purport, that this is the process by which one can progress in Krishna consciousness, or one can advance in Krishna consciousness. What is the process? Satam prasangam mam vir samvido bhavat hitam karna rasayana katha tad joshanata shrapavarga vartamani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramishati. So in this purport of this verse, 3rd canto, 25th chapter, verse number 25, very, very important verse. Very, very, very often quoted by Srila Prabhupada at various occasions. Satam prasangam mama vira samvido. That one should associate with the like-minded devotees, and in that association, they should derive this great pleasure in hearing and chanting. Because such pastime of the Lordship is bhavanti hrit karna rasayana katha. Not only pleasing the ears, it also pleases the heart. And then Prabhupada says in that purport that this is the process by which one can advance in Krishna consciousness, by hearing and chanting. And that is why we assemble almost every day in this month of Kartik and trying to glorify the Lordship, Lord Damodar, in Vrindavan. The Vrindavan pastime of Lordship is very, very special, very, very special. Because such pastime, such intimacy, it never happens. One of the Acharya, Gaudiya Vaishnava, he describes that Lord childhood pastime was not revealed to those people whom Krishna revealed his opulences. Please try to hear carefully. Krishna did not give the opportunity or the fortune to his devotees in front of whom he disclosed or he manifested his opulences. Those devotees could not witness the Lord childhood pastime, and vice versa. And wherever Krishna shows the childhood pastime, there Krishna did not reveal his opulences. Like Chatush Kumar, they could only see the opulence of Krishna, not a childhood pastime. Darshat Maharaj, childhood pastime, no opulence of Lord Shri Ram. But the only one personality in the entire creation, spiritual world, material world, everywhere, only one personality who could witness both simultaneously. The opulence of Krishna, Vishwarupa, and the childhood pastime. And who is that personality? Mother Yashoda. None other than Mother Yashoda. Otherwise, in the entire history of the revealed scripture, no one. So Krishna did not show the both things together to anyone. That's why Shuddha Goswami is saying, Na imam virancho na bhuvo na pishir anga samshaya prasad lebire gopi yat tat prapi muktida yashodana samanasti. That's why it's mentioned, Yashodana samanasti. Nobody is equal or above Mother Yashoda, because this kind of fortune, this kind of privilege, no one else in the history could get it. Only Mother Yashoda. She could see the opulence of Krishna at the same time childhood pastime of Krishna. So this is such a pastime which we are describing actually. It's a very unique pastime. The rarest of rare pastime. Hare Krishna. So in Vrindavan is completely filled with the opulences. Which opulences? Such opulences, which satisfies the devotee up to the fullest extent. Normally we see the opulence means in terms of the the money or whatever. This is our yardstick. But there's a wonderful book by Prabhupada Saraswati where he describes the Vrindavan Mahima Amritam. That's a book title of the book. In that book, he's glorifying that what kind of opulence there in Vrindavan. Kujat kokil hams saras gana kirne mayura kule nana ratna nibaddha moola vitapa Shri Yukta Vrindavane Radha Krishna Aharnisham Prabhajato Jivarthadau Yau Muda Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. So he's saying Vrindavan is like that. Kujat Kokil Hamsa Sarasagana. When Krishna is walking on the end of Vrindavan, tract of Vrindavan, Vrindaranyam Swapada Ramanam Prabhishad Gita Kirti. That time all the Kujat Kokil Hams Saras Gana, सब लोग भगवान के सुंदर मुखारबिंदु को देख करके बिल्कुल स्टंड, बिल्कुल सब कुछ बिल्कुल जैसे रुक जाता है वहां पर. Because the master, Lord of universe is going to come now. He is walking on that land. और बता रहे कि नाना रत्न, मतलब जितने आप मणि के बारे में, रत्न के बारे में सोच नहीं सकते, वो सब रत्न कहां पर है वृंदावन में? नाना रत्न निबद्ध मूल विटप, जितने वहां पर वृक्ष हैं, विटप का मतलब वृक्ष, उसके मूल, उस सब के जो जड़ हैं वो सब रत्न से बने हुए हैं. दिस इज वृंदावन. नाना रत्न निबद्ध मूल विटप श्रीयुक्त वृंदावने. दिस इज वृंदावन. Every leaves, every twigs, every branch is much more opulent than all the gems in the Vaikuntha planet. That's what Goswamis are saying. कि उस जगह पर जहां पर राधा कृष्ण अहर्निशम प्रभजतौ, that everyone, all the creature in Vrindavan Dham, everyone, सबका focus कहां पर है? That how to please Radha and Krishna. And in that process, they are so satisfied. They are so happy, they are blissful. All of them, all the Brajvasis. So Prabhupada said, this is the real opulence, where every creature is completely satisfied. So that is Vrindavan. तो ये वहाँ की लीला बताई जा रही है हम सबको श्रीमद् भागवतम में. 10th canto, 9th chapter. So very beautifully we have seen the verses of Damodar Stikam as well as Srimad Bhagavatam together. That how Lord Shri Krishna, how he comes on that day of Dipavali when Mother Yashoda is churning the butter, and Lord Krishna comes there and he catch hold of that rod and said, stop churning. So I was sharing that day the commentary of one of the very wonderful acharyas called Sri Hari Sauri, Sri Hari Shastri Pandit, who became Hari Sauri, and Prabhupada named one of his disciples on his name called Hari Sauri, who used to be a personal servant of Sri Prabhupada for many years. Now he's in Vrindavan. I had the opportunity to have his darshan actually in Vrindavan Dham. He resides in Mayapur, but now in Kartik month he's in Vrindavan. He's very old now. He has got Parkinson's disease. So his hands, or one hand like shakes like this. But still he's serving Sri Prabhupada mission. And for many years he served Sri Prabhupada as a personal servant. So he was named on this Acharya name, Hari Sauri. Hari Sauri, I was mentioning that day, he was from Nasik actually, from Maharashtra. Very wonderful saint in 18th century. So every day morning he will get up, he will chant his round, sadhana, sandhya bandan, and then 12th chapter of Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 12th chapter. Just 12th chapter every day he will recite. Then he will go at least 2 hours for the gocharan, to take care of cows, and then he will take the first nevala, the first bite, prasadam, every day. He did for many years, and then one day Lord Shri Krishna, he revealed himself in front of him. And he gave instructions to him that yat anvayat, ab tum mere bare mein, main aapki leela ko prakat karne ja raha hu. and you just likha, you just write it down. And in your heart, I will sow all the seeds of the intricacies of pastime, which is not revealed so far. Then he composed 590 verses only on 10th canto. Only on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in our movement, especially His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj, he very much relished his pastime and he always describes his pastime. Maharaj is a Bhagavad Premi, Radha Govind Swami Maharaj. So he's a very, 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 Bhagavad is very dear to him actually. He was in Gita Press earlier, and when Sri Bhaiji was there, Hanumanji Prasadji Podar, someone of you know, very, very famous personality. Hanuman Prasad Ji Podar. So unko Bhaiji bhi kehte hain. A very wonderful personality. He's written such wonderful books in Gita Press about the Braj Ras, Madhav Vilas, and so many wonderful books that time. So Maharaj was assisting him in Gita Press, and he was in search of his spiritual master. So Hanumanji Prasad Ji told Bhaiji, now when Swamiji is here, Srila Prabhupada, he is in Kashi. You go and meet him, and he is the right person. So you please surrender your life to him. So he went, and he met first Srila Prabhupada Ji only. Srila Prabhupada Ji was sitting there at the bank of Ganges, and disciples were taking bath. He said, I want to meet Srila Prabhupada. He said, why you want to meet Srila Prabhupada? Prabhupada himself he told. So he said, I have come from this place, and Hanumanji Prasad Ji has sent me. He was doing Prabhupada Ji. Prabhupada Ji, he helped Prabhupada Ji that time actually, at the beginning stage, to get the free papers when he was printing this Back to Godhead magazine. So Gita Press used to get the subsidized paper, and Prabhupada used to get from him actually. So he used to know him, and he was knowing that he is a very wonderful personality. So Prabhupada said, okay, before meeting Sri Prabhupada, you have to answer some question. And he asked some question, and he answered very nicely, Maharaj. And Prabhupada said, I am Prabhupada. And then he dedicated his life. Immediately he dedicated his life to him. And then Prabhupada came to know that he is very fond of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he told all his disciples that never ever disturb Radha Govind. He will not do any other service in the temple. He will just spend time in reading Srimad Bhagavatam with the wonderful commentaries and just giving discourses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So till now, Maharaj, he does that seva. He's a very well known in our movement for Srimad Bhagavatam. You can browse his wonderful lectures. Actually, in earlier days when we came here, there were occasions where because we were not knowing what to preach or to speak on, so we just used to run his lectures, Maharaj lectures. Wonderful. For example, he will speak on one verse for several months. He has that kind of knowledge. Say, Dhruv Maharaj Charitra seminar for 1 month. Bhagavan, Narsingh Bhagavan ka nakh, तव कर कमल वरे, नख बहुत सुंदर है, उस नख के ऊपर he can speak 1 week, 2 weeks like that. So that kind of personality. He's a Bhagavad Premi. He take one word of Srimad Bhagavatam, one verse, and he can speak hours together from different commentaries. And most of our Vaishnavas in ISKCON, they relish Maharaj Bhagavatam lecture. I saw a video just last week. His Holiness Sadhana Swami Maharaj, he met Maharaj actually in Vrindavan Dham. Because now Maharaj is not keeping good health. He's got paralysis attack a couple of years back. Now he's recovering. And Maharaj mentioned to him that we all relish Maharaj your Bhagavatam lecture. He's very well known for his Bhagavatam lecture. So Maharaj referred Hari Sauri commentary. So Hari Sauri ji, then he composed 4,590, almost 600 verses only on 10th canto, and not 10th canto complete. Only up to the Krishna was in Vrindavan. Up to the Krishna was in Vrindavan. It means 48, 49 chapter. When Akrura came and took Krishna and Balram to Mathura, right? So half of the 10th canto. Because 10th canto has got how many chapters? 90 chapters. So almost half of the 10th canto, on that, he has composed 4,600 verses. He has reasons for every act of Lord Shri Krishna. For every act of Lord Shri Krishna, that why he did like so. Why he got up, came and catch hold of this mortar, grinding mortar. Why he was drinking milk. Why he did so. Everything. For every reason he has a commentary. For every act of Krishna. He has a reason actually. So he's saying that why Krishna came here? Krishna is saying, oh my yeah. First he says, ki Mother Yashoda has got love for Krishna or not? Yes or no? That's why she is Mother Yashoda. So Krishna is saying, you have got my prema, priti. So there is no need to churn in this material world. If anyone get the love of Godhead, then there's nothing to do in this material world. So that's what Krishna is saying. Bhaiya, you got my love, priti. So don't churn. Don't churn. Churn means churning in this material world. Don't churn. Don't endeavor in this material world. You already got my love. And then Shiva says that why he wants, because he's the Atmaram, but still he is willing to drink milk that time. He came, I said, I'm hungry, I want to drink milk. So Hari, sorry, I have some verses I can read, if you allow me. Better to read with verses, because it's beautiful, beautiful verses. I started reading few verses actually. I got the verses only. It's beautiful verses. And that show that this is not a creation of some human being. Krishna Kalar Dharm Hari Naam Sankirtan. Krishna Shakti Nahi Bina Tar Pravatan. Without Krishna's empowerment, nobody can compose such verses or nobody can give such regions. So first thing he's mentioned that why he's churning, why she was churning. So he's giving a reason here now. You can repeat after me this verse, very wonderful verse. Drishta api vishma akhilam hi haro vishuddha chitto api purva dridha sanskriti vasitatma tattat guna kalnatah punareva karma asakto bhavatyal iha janimanamesha drishtva api vishvam akhilam hi haro vishuddha chitto api purvadrina sanskriti vasitatma tattad gunakal natah punareva karma asakto bhavatyal miha janimanamesha. He's saying why she was churning the butter. Very wonderful reason for sadhaka. Just before this incident, in the 8th chapter, Maya Yashoda had seen what? Drishta api vishwam akhilam. So already she saw the Vishwam Akhilam, the Krishna's Aishwarya. Right? The Akhil Brahman, that Brahman, Brahma Rupa, the Vishwarupa. Krishna had shown. He haro vishuddho. After seeing that, definitely her heart was completely purified. Anybody who sees Krishna face to face, his heart will be completely purified. We read this verse 3 to 20. Tathaiva cha anya narloka veera. Wonderful verse. Can you read that verse? It's a beautiful verse about the Kurukshetra. That everyone who was killed in Kurukshetra war, all the soldiers, they went back to Godhead. Why? Because Yathav, they could see the what? Krishna Mukharabindam. Because they were seeing Krishna, but very wonderful purport, Prabhupada says. We did that, right? Yes. Because here Krishna, Prabhupada says in the purport, that someone could go to the Vaikuntha and some of them could go to the Goloka also. Who are they? Because they were purified by Parthastra Putah. First, they were purified by the devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. Who? Arjuna. So through the Partha Astra. Partha means Astra. The weapon of Partha. Parthastra Putah. Param. So by that process, they become purified. And in that purified state, they could see Krishna Mukharabindam, Naina Viramam. So while leaving the body, they were purified by the arrow of Arjuna and they were seeing Krishna because Krishna was sitting on that chariot. And in that process, they all went back to Godhead. Can you read the translation first?
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, Shloka 20. Certainly others who were fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra were purified by the onslaught of Arjuna's arrows, and while seeing the lotus-like face of Krishna, so pleasing to the eyes, they achieved the abode of the Lord.
Just read this section, Prabhu. I have highlighted this. Now see this intricacy of purport.
The words, pleasing to the eyes of the seer, are very significant. When the warriors from the other side of the battlefield saw Lord Krishna at the front, they appreciated his beauty, and their dormant instinct of love of God was awakened. Shishupala saw the Lord also, but he saw him as his enemy. But his love was not awakened. Therefore, Shishupala achieved oneness with the Lord by merging in the impersonal glare of his body called the Brahma Jyoti. Others who were in the marginal position, being neither friends nor enemies, but slightly in love of Godhead, by appreciating the beauty of his face, were at once promoted to the spiritual planets, the Vaikunthas. The Lord's personal abode is called Goloka Vrindavana, and the abodes where his plenary expansions reside are called the Vaikunthas, where the Lord is present as Narayana. Love of Godhead is dormant in every living entity, and the entire process of devotional service unto the Lord is meant for awakening this dormant eternal love of Godhead.
Jai. So what Prabhupada is saying here, that although they saw Krishna, even Shishupala also saw Krishna, but if your love for Krishna is not awakened, Krishna Prem, then no matter whatever you do, you see Krishna 24/7, you cannot go back to God. That's what Prabhupada is saying, very intricate purport. So the soldiers who after this Parthas Putra, when they were purified and they could develop affinity for Krishna, oh, he's so beautiful. He's so beautiful. Just by beauty, because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came also, he conquered everyone by his beauty actually. So just by seeing that, they appreciated and they were promoted. They got much better place than Shishupal, Prabhupada is saying here. But Prabhupada is saying a very important point, that until unless our dormant Krishna Prem is not awakened, even we see Krishna like Duryodhana, Hiranyakashipu, they saw Krishna but they could not be promoted. Because Krishna is in front of them but their heart was not purified. Here Mother Yashoda, Vishuddha, after seeing that, completely purified. But still, it's beautiful, very beautiful purport. See Hari Saruji what he's saying. So he's saying, Drishto api vishram akhilam hi haro siddho chitto api purva dridha sanskriti vasitatma. He said, similarly, it may happen in our case also. Sometime you can see that we are in association or maybe with our spiritual master and we get a very nice feeling. Sometimes we really realize a tinge of Krishna consciousness or even Krishna experience. Bhakti para is anubhavo, virakti para is anubhavo. We feel that, like Mother Shraddha was here. But he's saying, Chitto api purva dridha sanskriti. But because of previous strong sanskara, again she came back and she's churning the butter. She completely forgotten that what she has seen. She said, no, ये तो मेरा पत्र ही है, ये कोई भगवान वान नहीं, कुछ नहीं, और अपना मंथन क्यों करने लगी? चित्तो अपि पूर्व दृढ़ संस्कृति, because of previous hardcore sanskaras. So he's saying in the commentary, similarly all of us, sometimes we can be in the presence of Mahabhagavat or Srimad Bhagavatam or such devotees, spending time with them, going to yatra, serving devotees. And for a moment we can realize also, it can be revealed in our heart. But again, because of our Pura Samskara, which is completely Anadi Karma Phale, again we come back to this Maya Devi. And we are engaged in our day-to-day life and our service. So this is what he is saying, Hari Sauriji, that this was the reason that why she is churning the butter. Although she saw the Vishwam Akhilam, Ki Hari Suddhao, but because of Purva Dhrida Sanskriti. It's a beautiful point, no? It's an amazing point. That's why it is mentioned कि पूर्ववर्ती संस्कार को साफ करने में बहुत टाइम लग जाता है. takes several years. Not years, several lifetimes sometime it may take. If we are not sincere. If you are not begging for the mercy of Krishna. You see all our acharyas, how they are begging. Bhakti Thakur Mahasaya, Natam Thakur Mahasaya, how they are begging. Anadi karma phal hai. Apan karam apani dubavanu. हे प्रभु, अगर आप नहीं है तो संसार दुख जलधो पतितस्य कामः क्रोधादि नवलीकृतस्य क्रोधाति नक्रम वरह नवलीकृतस्य दुर्वासना निगडितस्य निराश्रयस्य चैतन्य चंद्र मम देहि पदावलंबम. He's praying, oh my Lord, संसार दुख जलधो पतितस्य कामः. मेरे संस्कार इतने काम क्रोध में लगे हुए हैं कि मैं बिल्कुल डूब रहा हूं यहां पर. सेम थिंग सतपथ मुनि इज ऑल्सो सेइंग, दुख जालाब्धि मग्नम, ओ माय लॉर्ड, आई एम जस्ट ड्राउनिंग इन दिस ओशन ऑफ मिजरीज बिकॉज ऑफ माई पूर्ववर्ती कर्म संस्कारास. देयर इज नो अदर वे if you don't glance your mercy, if you don't cast your mercy through your glance. चैतन्य चंद्र मम देहि पदावलंबम. मैं ऐसे डूब रहा हूं कि मुझे आपका हाथ नहीं. चैतन्य महाप्रभु बोल रहे हैं, अपने चरण कमल को छोड़ दीजिए, बस मैं उसको ही पकड़ के निकल जाऊंगा बाहर. नहीं तो कोई होप नहीं है. देयर इज नो होप. सो दैट व्हाट ही इज सेइंग. चित्तो अपि दृढ़ संस्कृति वासित आत्मा तत्तत गुणाकालनतः. गुणाकालनतः मतलब प्रकृति के तीन गुण. This mode of passion, mode of ignorance, and mode of goodness, they always keep us bound in this material world. So although we are with devotees, we are with our spiritual master, but because of our this purvati karma, we are really struggling. Manah sast indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. बहुत struggle चल रहा है. आप किसी भी real भक्त को आप पूछोगे, real devotee, they'll always say the same thing, that I'm struggling. I'm struggling, Prabhuji. I'm struggling, Mataji. And that's a fact, actually. That's the fact. Because of our पूर्ववर्ती संस्कारास. क्योंकि बहुत सा बैगेज लेके चल रहे हैं हम लोग. संचित कर्म, क्रियमाणी कर्म, प्रारब्ध कर्म. But this is I'm not discouraging, but this is the only process by which in due course of time, अभी हमने पढ़ा ना कि भक्ति श्रद्धा रतिर भक्ति अनुक्रमश्यति ग्रेजुअली. प्रभुपाद said स्वादि क्रमाद भवति तदगद मूल हंतरि किंतु आदरात अनुदिनम. But this is the only process we have to take as a medicine. किंतु आदरात means with very carefully, with great respect. अनुदिनम means every day, regularly. तब क्या होगा? Swadi kramad bhavati. Then gradually we'll develop this. Now this will become our sanskara. Because this sanskar will play a very important role. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Antakale cha mameva. He did not say Shravana, did not say Kirtan. He said Ismaranam. और स्मरणम जो है वो हमारे संस्कार पर डिपेंड करता है. What kind of vasanas, संस्कार are there, वही हमारे स्मरण में आएगा पटल में. इसलिए भगवान की लीलाओं का श्रवण करना, भगवान के नाम रूप गुण, ये हमारे हम प्यूरिफाई कर रहे हैं अपने संस्कारों को. पुनंति ते विषया विदूषित आशया व्रजंती तत् चरण सरोरुहांतिकम. प्रभुपाद सेज वी आर ट्राइंग टू प्यूरिफाई आवर पोल्यूटेड एम ऑफ लाइफ. हम सब कुछ शुद्ध कर रहे हैं. दिस इज अ प्यूरिफिकेटरी प्रोसेस. सो वी ट्राइंग टू कंप्लीट, पूरा ओवरहॉल कर रहे हैं हम लोग पूरी चेतना को. ये जीवात्मा, जो चेतना अनादिकाल से हमें मिली है जीवात्मा को, जिस जीवात्मा, वी आर ट्राइंग टू ओवरहॉल राइट फ्रॉम द मोमेंट वी केम फ्रॉम द स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड. फ्रॉम दैट टाइम टिल नाउ सो मेनी संस्कारास, सो मेनी लाइफ टाइम भरे पड़े हैं. कभी कभी अपने आप अर्जुन पूछ रहे हैं भगवद गीता में, दैट अनिच्छितम, कि कभी कभी बिल्कुल नहीं चाहते हुए भी इट सीम्स दैट बल प्रयोजितः, that somebody is forcing me to do the sinful activities. Why it's happening? Oh Krishna, I'm not knowing. I'm unaware of it. Purvati sanskar. He's saying somebody is forcing, it seems. 3rd chapter, verse number 36, 37. Right? अथकेन प्रयुक्तो बलम, कि किस कोई बलपूर्वक काम करवा रहा है मुझसे, कोई बलपूर्वक पाप करवा रहा है, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. What is the reason? And Krishna says, what is that? Kama esha, krodha esha, rajo guna samadbhava. Because we are in touch with which, especially mode of passion. That's why it's coming here. Tat tad gunan kalnataha. कि इस गुणों के द्वारा हम इतने आसक्त हैं कि our पूर्ववर्ती संस्कार is very, very powerful. So even though we realize sometime the good things come in the heart, but it's very difficult. That's why when Vibhishana, when he met to the Lord Sri Ramchandra for the very first time, when he came and he prayed, "Oh my Lord, please accept me. I'm surrendering my life to you." That time he's saying, "Oh my Lord, please accept me as soon as possible." Why? Because I belong to demoniac family. Any moment, because of my samskara, my thought process can change. So now I have a desire to surrender to you. It may change any time. So please accept me as your disciple, as your servant, as soon as possible. Because this can change. Yes. Right, Prabhuji? क्योंकि संस्कार बड़े बहुत शक्तिशाली है और हम सबको ज्ञात है ये. This, I mean, we can introspect ourselves. Sometimes sitting in the class, what kind of feeling is coming actually? One time one devotee in Vrindavan Dham, the story comes in Bhaktamal Katha. So he was giving a class and on Bhagavatam, and all of a sudden he closed the book. He said, "I'm not fit for this. You all are thinking that I'm speaking such a high exalted subject matter. But at this point of time, something very bad, such bad thought coming in my mind. Although I'm speaking Bhagavatam, but that kind of sanskar, something is coming, I'm not fit for it." He closed the book and he went away. He was so honest. So honestly, he submitted. But this is the only process. And His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj says that it will come. Because when for example, if you have some dirt, like what you call dwelling type of tent or mud room, mud house. In village we have mud house, right? Where we put this cow dung every day like that. So if you go after a long time in that house, so a lot of dust will be there. But if you enter, you can't see it. But the moment you start brooming it, you can see more and more dust coming out. But if you're not brooming, it's fine. You settle down. But the moment you start brooming, you can see, "अरे बहुत dust आ रहा है." आप बोलेंगे पहले तो नहीं था, झाड़ू लगाते इतना dust आ रहा है. तो महाराज कहते हैं कि similarly, it is there in the core of our heart. And the moment we start this brooming process, Chetodarpan Marjanam, churning process, such sanskar will come out. It's good. Let them come out. Let them go away. So don't worry about that. वो आएगा, उसको जाने दो बाहर. Don't hold on it. Let it go. Let it go. So this is what he is saying. This is the first region, and we should learn from this Mother Yashoda that even after seeing the Vishwa Akila Rupam, Purva Dhrida Sanskriti, the Karan, again she was churning the butter, which she was doing every day, almost. Daily routine. So similarly, we also, इतना हम अच्छी कथा सुनते हैं, भक्तों का संग करते हैं, but कुछ ही समय के बाद उसमें लगता है कि अरे बहुत अच्छी बात है ये. I'll surrender my life. And then after a few hours again we come back to this kind of Shamshan Vairagya. Right? Shamshan Vairagya. Shamshan means you just, for that period when the body is burned, after that you again come to your daily routine, your activities, you forget everything. उसमें लगता है क्या बात है, संसार में क्या है, सब कुछ छोड़ के जाना है. वैराग्य आ गया उस समय. और जैसे वहाँ से आए फिर वापस से अपने काम में लग गए, सब भूल जाते हैं फिर. Please try to introspect. It happens with all of us. I'll give you an example. Whenever some Maharaj come here, spiritual master, our spiritual master, when they come here, see that 3-4 days how we perform, our mindset is there, and what kind of thought process comes in the mind. Like His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Maharaj, when he came, everybody was so enthused that oh, Varnashram activity, Varnashram बस यही करना चाहिए हमको. And few devotees we started searching for land and this, कि करना चाहिए काउ के लिए. And in due course of time, सब ठंडा पड़ गया. सब ठंडा. Now we came to our routine, our daily activity चल रहा है हमारा. So that is exactly happening. कि पूर्ववर्ती संस्कार हमारे इतने दृढ़ हैं कि such kind of activity is very difficult. Very difficult to really execute or act on that actually. Thought process may come, but very difficult to execute on that thought process. So this is the first thing she's saying. Sorry is saying. And then he's saying that why she catch hold of the rod. Okay, because he wanted to say that I'm reading that verse. मैं हिंदी में इसका अनुवाद पढ़ रहा हूँ श्लोक का, मुझे हिंदी में अनुवाद मिला है. आई एम जस्ट रीडिंग. यद्यपि किसी व्यक्ति ने समस्त विश्व के पति हरि को भीतर देखा भी हो, यद्यपि वह व्यक्ति विशुद्ध चित्त वाला भी हो, किंतु यदि पूर्व के संस्कार दृढ़ हो तो व्यक्ति गुणों को पकड़कर पुनः अपने मंथन कर्म में आसक्त हो जाता है. यही तथ्य मदर यशोदा के द्वारा यहाँ पर सिद्ध किया जा रहा है. व्हाट अ वंडरफुल पॉइंट, सच इंट्रिकेट पॉइंट प्रभुजी. For all of us, it's a very important point. I found it's very, very important. Then why Krishna came there? Krishna is Atma Kam. But why Krishna was hungry? Because that does not suit for the Lord actually. As a definition of Lord, he is Purna, Atma Ram. We are Apurna. Apurna से पूर्णार्थे चेष्टाः इति कर्म. तो हम लोग करते हैं ऐसे कर्म क्योंकि हम लोग अपूर्ण हैं. In order to become complete, we need something. But Krishna is Purna Purushottam. He does not need anything from this material world or from anyone, anything. So why Krishna was hungry here? So he's saying, Rasa Swadi Bhagavan, he says, Purnah Kamyo Apayam Bhuyo Bhakta Hard Ris Sammuha. Even though he's complete, but Mother Yashoda, she was churning the butter and she was singing the wonderful songs. That time she was remembering Krishna, and out of devotion she was singing that song. So he's saying, whenever anybody is having a devotion in the heart, Krishna wants to taste that rasa of that devotion in the heart of devotees. He's very reciprocative. So although he's complete, he does not need milk, but he wanted to taste that rasa, the mellow which was coming in the heart of Mother Yashoda, that he wanted to taste, and that's why he came. That's what he's saying. Asmiti prasfutit kartum stannya kamo babhuvasa. And that is why it seems that he has a desire to drink the milk, stan kamo. But उनकी इच्छा क्या थी? भूयो भक्त हार्दिर रस स्पृहा. भगवान भक्त के हृदय के रस के स्पृहा मतलब इच्छा. He is always desiring to drink that rasa from everyone. And that's why Krishna became from one to many. Eko bahushyam. Eko bahushyam. To exchange this love, to relish this rasa of the devotion, Krishna Prem, and that's what we are doing. If we do that activity, Prabhupada says, this is the biggest service to Krishna. The biggest service, because Krishna will drink that. He needs that mellow. And we can produce that. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhaka Bunay, Shaman Adi, Shuddha Chitta Koray Uday. Shaman Adi के माध्यम से जब चित्त उदय हो जाता है ये रस, Krishna wants to drink it, like he came here. This is another reason. This is all reason given by Hari Sauriji. For every act, he is giving a reason. So he's saying, भगवान ने सोचा यद्यपि मैं पूर्ण काम हूँ, फिर भी भक्त के हृदय का रस अर्थात भक्ति रस उसका पान करने की इच्छा मैं रखता हूँ. हालांकि मैं पूर्ण हूँ, पर सदैव मैं भक्ति के रस को पान करने की इच्छा मैं हमेशा रखता हूँ. And that is why he said to Radha, no, what is that? Na tisthami vaikuntho naham yoginam hridayamapi tat tisthami narada yatra gayanti mad bhakta. Yatra gayanti mad bhakta tat tisthami narada. So he's, ऐसा नहीं कि भगवान वैकुंठ में नहीं है. He is there. He is also in the heart of yogis. But more and more his presence can be felt only in the association of devotees, where devotees are with this bhakti rasa, they are glorifying the Lordship. There only we can relish the presence of Krishna more and more, because Krishna personally comes there to taste that bhakti rasa. It's a बहुत सुंदर point है. That's why the pure devotee, they always carry the Lord Charnarvindam, Hridayesu Padaram, because they have that bhakti rasa. And this bhakti rasa can be only transferred from one heart to other heart. Vishant Kripa says, bhakti ही भक्ति को उत्पन्न कर सकती है. Only bhakti can induce bhakti, nothing else. And that's why the pure devotee, when they have this rasa, they can implant, transplantation. So they can implant this bhakti or inculcate this bhakti in anyone's heart by seeing their patrata. Guru Krishna Kripa Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. That seed they can implant. This is how the bhakti comes actually. So someone who have this rasa, they can give. Like Srila Prabhupada, he gave the entire world actually. Devotees are drowning in this bhakti rasa all over the world. We witness in Govardhan 13,000 devotees from different corners, different parts of globe, dancing together, chanting together, feasting together. एक हफ्ते सब कुछ भूल गए कि कोई कुछ कहीं पे कुछ काम धाम कर रहा है. सब भक्ति के रस में डूब रहे थे सब. So this is why Krishna is doing. And that time Mother Yashoda, she was feeding, and we know the story that why Dugdha. So we saw that purport also, Srila Prabhupada purport, very beautifully purport. This I'm just repeating here just for devotees who were not there. So he's saying, Yanmat smriti parpalyam vidhunute. दूत सोच रहे हैं कि Yanmat smriti. This my Lord is here just by remembrance of him. Yanmatra smriti. Apyalyam vidhunute. संताप, सबके संताप चले जाते हैं. ये संस्कृत में श्लोक है कि जिनका स्मरण करने मात्र से सारे संताप चले जाते हैं. That master is in front of me and I am not able to serve him. That Lord जिनका नाम लेने से यद विभेति स्वयं भयम. That Lord is standing present in front of me, just few feet distance, and I am not able to serve. I am not going to be used in his service. So what is the use of my life? Let me commit suicide. कि मैं भगवान के सेवा में उपयोग नहीं हो पा रहा हूँ. Actually, this should be the mood actually. Disciple, Prabhupada writes in the purport, 4th canto, 12th chapter. Prabhupada, 10th chapter, 12th chapter. Prabhupada writes, a disciple, a sincere disciple, if he cannot fulfill the mission of a spiritual master, he should die actually. Prabhupada says in the purport. He should not live in the spiritual world. This very high state of consciousness. It's a very ideal situation, but this is what we should know. That what is expectation. Yatha Krishna arpita pranas tatra purush nishevaya. Who has given his life and soul to Krishna. And he will also teach us how to give our life and soul to Krishna in the parampara. It's a very demanding process.